So I came across the question the other day about whether we should be writing non-binary characters as aliens, monsters, robots, or whether they need to be specifically human. And I thought, as a non-binary author, I might throw out my opinion on this. And I wanted to sort of explain to people who aren't non-binary part of the benefit and part of the pitfall of writing non-binary aliens, monsters, cyborgs, and so on. Non-binary, non-human characters. What it boils down to is there's no specific massive amount of damage to the non-binary community by starting writing non-binary characters who are non-human. However, it does, on a very low level, reinforce the idea that non-binary people aren't human, or that humans can't be non-binary, which is something that we don't really want to reinforce. On the other hand, as a non-binary person myself, I have to say I really identify with these non-human characters. And a big part of that is because I am non-binary. And maybe that's because of cultural context and the fact that you don't really get non-binary characters who aren't in these brackets very often. You don't very often get human non-binary characters. But there's also the possibility that the reason that we, as non-binary people, me and the fellow non-binary people that I talk to online, the reason that we strongly associate ourselves and empathise with these non-human, non-binary characters is because of our level of disconnect with our own bodies, our own dysphoria for our physical form. A lot of the non-binary people I know sometimes kind of wish they didn't have a physical form, or they could pull a Mystique and become somebody different for 20 minutes or an hour or a day, or they can morph their body to fit more accurately with their gender presentation, with their current gender feeling, sort of whenever they wanted to. The idea that these bodies and beings are designed to not fit within this gender binary that is imposed on the entire world is very appealing. It's appealing to be able to imagine yourself in a body that has no gendered characteristics, or has too much of a mishmash of gendered characteristics for anyone to be certain about your own assigned gender at birth, or for anyone to try and impose a binary gender upon you. I'm not going to go too much into analysis of why that is, or whether that means you should or shouldn't be writing these non-binary characters as non-human. What I am going to say is that my only real piece of advice for the writers out there is try to think about whether you want to add in a human non-binary side character, throwaway character, just for the fact of letting people know that humans who are non-binary exist. Imagine you're writing a high fantasy novel and you have a Naga character who is non-binary. So it's a snake person, is what a Naga is, in case you didn't know. So you have this sort of partially human, partially snake creature, and you wanted this creature to be non-binary. That's fine, go for it, why not? Also have a random shopkeeper or tavern owner or person you have to do a quest for who is human be non-binary. It solves all the problems. We're not saying we non-binary people, or at least I, non-binary person, and the people that I know, are not saying you can't have non-binary non-humans. You definitely can, and you definitely should, because we love those. We absolutely adore them. I absolutely love non-binary monsters and aliens and cyborgs and other non-human characters. But if you're worried, or if you want to be inclusive and make the point that humans are also non-binary, throw in a non-binary human. Throw in some neopronouns or the singular they to describe this person. And not everybody's going to get it. Believe me, not everybody's going to get it. But at least you tried, and it's enough. That is enough to do to benefit the non-binary community. Also, if you wanted to write a non-binary main human character, go for it. Check out my video on writing non-binary characters. There's a shed load of advice in there. And yeah, go forth, write non-binary characters. And a quick disclaimer for the end of this video is that obviously I don't actually speak for the entire non-binary community. I just speak for myself and a couple of my friends, online and offline, who are also non-binary. We've talked about this, I've researched it. A lot of non-binary people that I am in contact with agree with my perspective, so obviously I don't speak for all non-binary people. That would be ridiculous. I am alone in my bedroom. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to my channel. I try to post every Friday. If you want to stay up to date with my life, my work, my bunnies and my short stories, you can follow me on social media or go straight to nopoodles.wordpress.com. I am on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter as nopoodles. This has gone out of order, but let's just run with it. And if you'd like to support me in what I do, there's a link to my Ko-fi account in the description below. I will see you next time. Bye bye.